Hello and welcome back to Gully China. This week I'm going to be showing you my 5 favourite Mandarin language movies available to watch for free on Netflix. Netflix has seen a huge increase in Mandarin language films on the platform since its introduction to the Taiwanese market in 2016. Since then, Netflix has also funded and produced a lot of projects in Mandarin and brought up a lot of content from mainland China. Although Netflix is not actually available in China, many feel that this is the platform's way of getting around those restrictions and still building a strong Chinese viewer base. Because of this, there are actually loads of films to choose from, which made my job of narrowing it down to 5 favourites even harder. So without further ado, let's get into it. In no particular order, first up we have Cities of Last Things, 幸福城市. I came across this film by accident one day and it just stuck in my brain for a long time. Malaysian director Wei Ding Ho produced this movie in Taiwan with support from Taiwanese, Chinese, French and US production companies. Set in 3 different time periods, Cities of Last Things shows us a dystopian future as well as a nostalgic present and past as we follow a man's journey chronologically backwards through time. Well put together and starring some great actors like Li Hongqi from Long Day's Journey into Night and Tiger Tail, and Jack Kao, who gained his fame in the new wave films of Hou Xiaoxian. The dystopian aspect of the story, as well as the melancholy of past love, adolescence and family, make this a really thematically alluring yet strangely elusive and hard to pinpoint film. I really liked it, and the fact that it was shot completely on 35mm gave it a beautiful grainy quality which just made me like it more. If you like to cry at movies, then this next one is for you. Us and Them, or后来的我们, is in some ways a soppy love story full of cliché, from the back and forth storytelling to the desperately sad romance it depicts. However, from this film, I think we see a lot of the struggles young adults face in China, especially those who move to the city in an effort to make it big. Taiwanese pop star turned director Rene Liu shows us the lives of those living in the underground and tiny apartments in Beijing, the affectionately labelled rat tribe of entrepreneurs, migrant workers and new graduates who are trying to get ahead and cannot afford a place of their own. The representation of this type of living was great to see, and I think makes this film worth watching just for that aspect. The story, however, is also really nicely told and is centered around Spring Festival celebrations over different years. Definitely worth watching for everyone, even if you're not into romance films. King of Peking. This film surprised me in that it's made by an Australian, Sam Voltus, who spent a lot of time in China in the 80s and 90s, which is what inspired him to write and direct this film. King of Peking is a homage to Beijing in the 90s. From the set design to the soundtrack, characters, language and wardrobe, everything is reminiscent of a bygone era and a China that young people like myself never got a chance to see. A really touching story of a father and son relationship after a difficult divorce. Working together to pirate and dub Hollywood movies into Mandarin, their relationship strengthens. This movie is sweet yet powerful, and I definitely recommend it to anyone who's interested in this era of China. The Golden Era, or黄金时代, is a biopic of the Chinese writer Xiao Hong, whose famous last book, Hulan Hechuan, or Tales of Hulan River, is a classic work of Chinese literature. Xiao Hong's story is fraught with struggle, instability, and difficulty as she lived through civil war conflicts and died young during World War II in Hong Kong. Her story is a great way to explore the period, and especially the progressive movement of writers during the 30s. Other than being absolutely fabulously directed by Hong Kong cinema legend Anne Hui, the Golden Era stars Tang Wei, again from probably this channel's most mentioned movie, Long Day's Journey into Night. The format of this film is also really effective, narrated by others in the story and the writing of Xiao Hong. If you have a medium level of Mandarin, you'll get a lot out of the beautiful use of language in Xiao's writing. A Son. Taiwanese cinematographer and director Chung Mong-hong brings us A Son, or 阳光普照, the story of a family who are struggling to stick together through their misfortune as crime rips them apart. Crime is always an intriguing subject for film, as discussed in an earlier episode, and this film is no exception, as we witness how family dynamics can be completely blown apart by one single event. With a really great dialogue, great cinematography, and fantastically written characters, A Son is definitely worthy of the many awards it took home. I hope you enjoyed the list. There are so many more Mandarin language films to choose from on Netflix, so I definitely recommend everyone to go and explore and find their 5 favourite Mandarin language movies and let me know what you think in the comments below. Next time I hope to get back to the usual format of a video essay, exploring some deeper themes within maybe 1 or 2 films. So until then, please stay tuned, check out the other videos if you haven't already, and check out the series on Chinese hip-hop if you haven't already, and like, share, subscribe, and tell anybody who you think might be interested in the channel. Thank you so much.